In my walk around, this is my trailer. It's got a couple of dimples on the other side. Doors are shut and latched. Lugs all look good. There's some dimpling here. A dimple here. And a dimple here. Everything's hitched up correctly. So does this seem familiar? I am on my way to Texas with a cargo trailer. And I just got into a thunderstorm. And man, is it raining. Not that you can see much out here because it's only about 2 o'clock in the morning. 2, as in 1, 2. The reason for this, for me being out here in this, is because I've got a trailer going to Midland, Odessa, and I've got to pick up another trailer there in the morning, and it's impossible to get a motel room in the Midland, Odessa area, or it used to be anyway. I don't know, might not be now, but it probably still is. Because Midland, Odessa is the hot spot in the Permian Basin for oil field companies and their workers. So the oil field companies pretty much have all of the motels there booked up permanently. I mean, they just bought them out. And they keep rooms for their workers there. So the last time I actually stayed at a motel in Midland, Odessa was like 14 years ago, and I had to pay $180 for a motel room in a blizzard. It was so cold I could not sleep in the truck, and luckily Bill called around and he was able to find one room that they had there, and he booked it for me. So I actually had a room that night where I would have been freezing my butt off sleeping in my truck. So since that happened, and I know that you can't get a motel room in Midland, Odessa, because they're all taken up by, oil field companies. When I have a load going to Midland, Odessa, I make sure that I can drive down there and deliver it during business hours, wherever it's going, and then get the hell out of there. I don't even attempt to stay the night in that region because it's just impossible. The closest place to that there is an affordable motel would be Snyder, Texas. So I've got frogs and snakes all over this road. I'm trying not to kill any of them, but I'm afraid I can't swerve and miss them because I got a cargo trailer on. But it's raining so hard the frogs and snakes are coming up out of the grass and getting on the road. So I've seen several snakes now and dozens of frogs. Feel sorry for these little critters. They're all God's creatures too. I wish they had some built-in thing that would keep them off the roads, but they don't. So just try not to kill try and kill as few of them as possible. And yes, I even feel bad running over frogs. I do. Don't like killing anything. I never have liked killing anything, Even when I was a hunter, I didn't like killing the critters I ate. But you know what? That's part of the reality of life. You do kill the critters you eat, or somebody does it on your behalf. You know, I'd rather have somebody else do it, to be, perfectly honest, because I don't like doing it. I keep getting in these little heavy rain spots and then getting through them. I don't think this is a gigantic storm. It's kind of a front that's strung out. This is a front that's been giving me a headache for 2 days. It finally got in here. My headache broke. Thank God, or I'd be miserable driving now. But I looked at the radar a while ago. It looks like once I get down around Wichita Falls, I should be south of it. It's kind of a strung out front that runs from about Lubbock up over to Wichita Falls and then up into here. So maybe I'll get through it here pretty soon. I'm turning off in about 3 miles. See those red blinking lights down there? If you can see that, I don't know. I don't know how much you can see actually of anything besides just the road in front of the truck. But there's the flashing lights down here at Highway 70. You should be able to see it again now. Red flashing light up there. That's 2.5 miles away. That's where I'm going to turn right and go off toward Wichita Falls. So we're going to get into a little bit more of this storm, I think, before we get completely out of it. So what I'm doing, I'm insanely out here driving through tonight to deliver a 20-foot cargo trailer that I picked up yesterday in Oklahoma City. I'm going to deliver it to a business outside of Midland, Texas. And they open at 7 in the morning. I should get there about 7:30-ish, somewhere thereabouts. And I'll get this thing delivered, and then I have to go on into Odessa, which is west of Midland. And I have to pick up another trailer over there and haul it into New Mexico a couple hours into New Mexico. So it's not going way in there, but up to somewhere around a little town called Dexter. So I'll get that delivered in there hopefully by noon, and then I have to make my way up to Amarillo, where I've got a trailer to pick up and deliver in Oklahoma City tomorrow. So anyway, that's what the next 2 days looks like. So I may end up staying at the same hotel I stayed at the last time I was over in the Amarillo area. It's between Lubbock and Amarillo. Don't know. We'll have to see when we get to that point. But yeah. Got a busy 2 days here. I haven't worked for a while because there's just not that much work. I think the last job I had was last Saturday. No, maybe not. No, it was since then. Anyway, the truck has been sitting idle under the carport for a while. Here's my turnoff on Highway 70. So the truck sat out there under the carport all week, and evidently sometime I ended up getting a flat. My inside dually on I think he said the passenger side was flat. And it wasn't just flat, the tire stem, valve stem was busted off. So I'm not even sure what would cause that, except hitting debris in the road probably would be my best guess. And I don't remember hitting any debris, so who knows. But anyway, he changed that for me, but now I don't have a spare tire on the truck. That's not as much of a problem on a dually pickup as you might think, because in an emergency situation, if The only thing I'm going to worry about is getting a flat on the front. If I get a flat on the front, I'm going to have to pull one of my dualies off the back and move it to the front. But I'm not pulling anything heavy for the next 2 days. I'm pulling all lightweight trailers, so it's not like I'm going to have a lot of weight stress on that rear axle anyway. This cargo trailer I've got on is not a heavy trailer at all. It's I don't know, probably 3,500, 4,000 pound trailer. So as trailers go, it's not considered a heavy trailer for this truck. I mean, just not. So in the event that I end up getting a flat on the front, I'll just rotate a dually off the back to the front. And then while I'm out today and tomorrow, Bill will take my spare over to the tire shop and have him put a new valve in it, new valve stem, fix it up, get it repaired, and then I'll have it back on the truck. I've got work scheduled on this truck Monday anyway, so these are the only jobs I'm going to have between now and next week. So I'm not too worried about it. If it turns out that I end up having a bad flat or something and can't convert one off the back to the front or whatever, I can sit parked until he can bring me the other one, because I'm not going to be that far from home. So, I mean, at the farthest I'll be 7 hours, 8 hours maybe on this trip. So, you know, we can work around it. I mean, I carry a spare tire on the truck all the time, and I use it once in a great while, once in a blue moon, roughly. So we'll see. I hope we'll be all right. I'll just have to be careful not to hit anything in the road, which I always try to be mindful not to hit anything that's in the road. There's a reason I don't pull off and run on the shoulder and things like that, because, you know, debris can damage your tires. It's exactly the kind of thing that debris can do. So this is actually the worst stretch of road I'll be traveling on until I get clear down to Midland and have to take the county road into this business site. This is a skinny 2-lane road until we get into Texas, and then it gets a really good shoulder. So we're not very far from Texas though. Right here we're, I don't know, what, 8 miles maybe? But we just departed from Highway 70, and this is Highway 79 now. Highway 70 keeps going on west. We're turning southwest. Nice lightning. So it'll be interesting to see how far south I have to go to get around this storm. It's not a giant storm like the one that I was trying to outrun last week. And it's pretty good, pretty long line, but it's not like a big blob. It's just kind of typical heat thunderstorms that we get here in the evenings. These storms are usually mostly rain and lightning. Sometimes I'll have hail in them, but for the most part, lightning, rain, wind. So we finally turned the roof in on the insurance. We've had several bouts of roof damage. And this roof that we have is only 6 years old. The previous owner put it on the house before we bought it. but the company that installed it was recommended by the realtor. Don't ever use a company recommended by a realtor if it's not like, I don't know if this guy had a legitimate company or not, but I know he came back out 4 or 5 or 6 times. I'd call him, you know, this roof is leaking, you need to come out here and look at this. And the last time he came out in a little bitty white car with a fold-up ladder in the trunk. I mean, that's the kind of caliber of company that installed the roof we've got. So we've had trouble with it ever since we moved in there. We completely redid this house. New sheetrock, and I put new sheetrock in my room, my bedroom. My brother and I did most of the work. Bill was working, you know, paying the bills, so we were in there working on the house, and we re-sheetrocked not a whole lot of it. The whole east end of the house has been re-sheetrocked, and then the bedroom ceiling that I'm talking about has been re-sheetrocked because we reconfigured it a little bit. And damned if that didn't spring a leak right over that brand new sheetrock. So now I've got sheetrock I've been trying to keep from, you know, having any more damage for like since we moved in. But this last storm we got was hail and wind, and it kind of did it in. So it's bad that it's raining actually, because it's probably, you know, I hope it's not going to rain enough to leak and do more damage. Talk about annoying. You know, you fix something up nice, put a lot of time and effort into it, money, and then because somebody does shoddy work, it gets ruined. It's kind of a pisser. So I'm crossing the Red River right now. You can kind of see that I've got bridge railings on either side. So tonight was the night that the Aurora Borealis was supposed to be visible, not down here, I'm sure, but from like 17 states up north, and naturally we would get clouds and rain here, so there's absolutely zero chance that we might see any of it. Not that there's much chance that we'd see it this far south to begin with, but I kind of had my hopes, you know. My hopes have been dashed. So, no Aurora Borealis for me. All right, we are in Texas, officially. Being met with even more of a storm. This just isn't all that much fun, running in storms like this. I don't know, I guess it's kind of picturesque and pretty if you like lightning. But it's annoying as far as, you know, trying to see through a windshield when it's being hammered with rain. Pretty torrential rain right here. I've got as much light as I can put on this road. I've got all 3 of my sets of lights on. Well, I got my bright and my fog lights anyway. I guess your dims don't run at the same time as your brights, or maybe they do. Seems like they might, I don't know. But I'm hoping to get south of this thing, somewhere down here, once we get a little bit beyond Wichita Falls. We'll see. I don't know. I didn't really study the radar super heavy. I just looked, and it looked like once I got down south of Wichita Falls, we'd be south of the whole mess. I hope that's accurate. So it'd be nice to have just nice open dry road to run once we get through here. So I'm about 25 miles, I think, from Wichita Falls. Coming in from the northeast side. Lots and lots of lightning. Man. Lightning ain't messing around. I'm gonna try and not have anything of me touching the door or any of the metal parts. Kind of scrunch up a little bit and sit in the middle of my seat just in case. I wouldn't, it wouldn't be the first time a moving vehicle had been struck by lightning, which I seriously don't want to have happen. That would end my trip real quick. Fire city limits. Seems kind of weird running through here this time of night. I mean, it's literally in the middle of the night. That quiet time in the night. I used to love this time of night when I was a cop. So I could get out and walk around town, rattle doorknobs downtown. It was usually just calm and peaceful. Sometimes I could go in and get my reports written without having to, stop in the middle of it and go answer a call. If I was out and about, there was very little traffic. Very few people actually out and about in the wee hours like this. And as it turns out, I still like this time of night. Which is kind of weird because when I was a kid, I didn't like nighttime. I was afraid of the dark. Wasn't crazy about that whole idea. There's something in the road. Don't know what that was. Don't want to find out. But after working, a decade of mostly night shift by choice, I got to where I made my peace with the night. I guess is a good way to put it. So I actually don't mind being out traveling at night. They got a bit of wind here, it looks like. Got some branches down. Evidently, people don't have any concept of adjusting their headlights anymore. I don't know if you noticed the headlights on that car, man, they were way out of whack. And that's the second or third one I've seen tonight that's been really weird. The first one, you couldn't even tell that the passenger side light was working, and then the driver's side light was pointing straight up into the oncoming traffic's face, which is never good. Get my lights dim so I don't blind this guy. I've got about, I don't know, 4.5 hours to go. It's not that far down there. I mean, it's, you know. The whole problem with delivering in that area is, like I was telling you about the hotel issue. And I decided I could have left last night and gone down to Snyder and gotten a motel there, but you know, why spend an extra $100 or somewhere thereabouts? That's about what motels cost these days, give or take a little bit. It's like, why spend the money when I could just sleep in my own bed and then get up and leave and drive, because it's not that long of a drive. So yeah, so that was the idea that won. As you can tell, or I'd be asleep in a bed in a hotel in Snyder right now, and I wouldn't be getting up for another 3.5 hours, 4 hours. All right. This is an interesting way to start the day, isn't it? I'm not driving into the sunset. I'm driving into the sunrise on a road that can barely even be called a road. And I'm supposed to be delivering a trailer back in here, 0.8 of a mile. If they're not here, because I've tried calling twice and nobody's answering the phone, if they're not here, this trailer's just going to the store in Odessa, and they'll have to come get it on their own, because this is ridiculous. I can't believe this is even a functional road. And this is really kind of the pits. I got 0.7 more of a mile more to go in here. This is, I don't know if these drifts across here are intentional speed bumps that they've built into that road, or if they're just sand drifts that have formed. Your guess is as good as mine, but this is awful. Awful road. So this is going to be known as Awful Road from now on in my mind. I probably will never come in here and deliver anything else. This is a direct-to-customer delivery, and these are always quirky and weird. Sometimes aggravating. Most of the time they're aggravating. And this one's seriously aggravating. I'm afraid I'm going to break something on my truck. This road is so bad. This place is supposed to open at 7 o'clock, and they're not answering their phone yet, and it's 7:30. So I'm not sure about this at all, but if they ain't here, I'm turning right around and going back to Odessa to the trailer store, and they can go get their own trailer at the trailer store, because this is not looking promising to me at all. This is not looking right. I got 0.4 of a mile more. Either prove me right or prove me wrong. But this should not even be called a street. How they can even call it a road, I don't know. This is pretty bad. Pretty dang bad. And I'm not seeing anything out here. There's 4516. I'm looking for 4508. Oh my God, these roads. This is really, really bad. I've never seen a road this bad. I've seen a lot of bad roads in my time, but this is probably the worst road I've ever seen, ever, anywhere. And these guys are kicking up so much dust I can't see now. 4701, oh, 4805. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. I guess this is supposed to be it up here on the left. I guess I can't see anything up here anyway. All their dust. Not super happy about this. 4709. Okay, if this one's not it, I'm out of here. They can go pick up their own trailer elsewhere. I was told that they were always here, and there's nobody here that I can see, unless they're living in an RV out here. There's nobody here to sign for it, that's for sure. We can try calling them again. They're not answering their phone, so we'll give it a try. Guess I'll go knock on the door.
Please leave your message for...
Okay. Alright, well I know how to handle this. They're just going to have to go to Odessa and pick it up from them. Because I'm not going to sit here all day waiting on them. They're going to screw me up completely. They already screwed up my time frame. Okay. My GPS is freaking out. Evidently it's lost its satellite connection or something, because it's not. Alright, so I'm just getting here to deliver this trailer and pick up my next one after being unable to deliver this where they sent me with it. And these guys have been open for approximately 15-20 minutes. So we'll see how they feel about me bringing this trailer here when I was supposed to deliver it to the customer. You just have some days like this, that's all I can tell them. And I need my paperwork. Oh, it's all crumpled up. Doggone it. Pen. And this is 910. So I guess I am taking this load. They're going to bring me some straps and I can get it strapped down and go. This has just been kind of screwbally all the way around. But I need to get turned around here and back in so he can lift this up and set it up on my truck too. I'm going to set my microphone down. All right. This is my second load for the day. It's what they call a roll off. Okay, I do not see, I'm going to have one too, I can't go without it. Awesome, thank you. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, 2 is plenty, most of the other guys in Poland.
Just one over each end and, okay, alrighty.
Yeah, you'll be able to get it all.
Okay, okay, cool, thank you. Awesome.
Alrighty.
Head down and get going. Thank you. Oh, I need to get the paperwork too, I think. Do you have the paperwork?